So get your asses out of the park and sit down and write the
not touch me! You're not touch me!
Oh, Canada.
We'll respect the thing, bro. Brother,
they want their country here. Why'd you leave?
Yes, so then under your ideology, you should be deported too,
yeah,
you stupid
I just want people to be polite and hold the door for each other again, that's all.
You guys abuse favorite indigenous animals! Shame on you!
I've never seen Canada so divided in my life. Oh man, this is like a showdown right now. Holy sh**.
Are you indigenous? Are you indigenous?
You look like white trash.
What's up, guys? DJ Zar from Borough Sound TV, and today is gonna be a little different. I'm not doing an interview per se. Hold on, let me put my seatbelt on. Today, I'm going to Canadian Patriot Day at Christie Pits Park. It's hosted by a guy named Puck Daddy 93, who I'll show on the screen right now.
Make it clear that this country means the world to me. Our history, our culture, our identity, and that's what this movement is about.
And yeah, I'm gonna go there to capture some content, interview some people, see what this is all about. I know the state of affairs in Canada is a little bit shaky right now, especially with the influx of immigrants that have recently come. Me personally, I am the product of immigration. You know, I wasn't born in this country. We came when I was 2 years old, and you know, I became very ingratiated in Canadian culture. And I would argue that we really made an effort to assimilate into Canadian culture, whatever we thought that was at the time. You know, my mom would send me to like skating lessons because she wanted me to know how to skate. My parents were very insistent that I adopt a kind of Canadian mentality and adopt to the culture. And in turn, I'm not gonna lie, it is a double-edged sword because I do consider myself Canadian culturally, and that kind of came at the cost of me not knowing about my ethnic culture as much as I do about my current culture, you know? So there are times where when I'm with Syrians or I'm with Turks that I kind of feel like an outsider to them, because as much as we may be closer from a genetic perspective, culturally, I'm very much a Canadian, you know? When people ask me where I'm from here, I'll say I'm half Syrian, half Turkish. When I go across the world and people ask me where I'm from, I say Canada right away. Anyway, so my whole point is I am not anti-immigration, and my parents had to jump through hoops to really get that Canadian citizenship, and they had to understand the ways of this country. And I think that entire impetus or that attitude towards becoming a Canadian has kind of fallen apart, especially when you're allowing an influx of immigrants from one specific place with a strong culture that don't feel the need to assimilate, you know? If they're able to function within society, within the economy, without having to adopt to, you know, Canadian value systems or even language or cultural expectations, why would they? And we also have seen an influx of illegal immigration, and illegal immigration brings a whole array of problems, you know, around crime, around healthcare, around traffic. Like, there are just things that I feel like logistically Canada has not been able to keep up with the, you know, growing influx of immigration. And I want to see how Canadians feel, you know? At the end of the day, everyone is from somewhere. Even if you're like 7th generation Canadian, you're, you know, unless you're Indigenous, you have come to this country for ideally a better opportunity, you know? And I don't think anyone's trying to take away that right. I think people would just like those who come to this country to sort of adhere to the rules, whether spoken or unspoken, that we all abide by. Whatever part of the world you're from, you know, it doesn't really matter what your ethnicity or race is, but if you are able to kind of reach a common ground with your Canadian neighbor as a fellow Canadian, that's all that matters. And I think growing up, my generation and the generations before, we kind of appreciated that. We appreciated our differences and celebrated what made us Canadian, you know? And of course, you're gonna have, you know, culture clashes and, you know, people saying that their culture is better than others or their food is better. And that's normal. Now you're experiencing people who are just not even interested in trying to become Canadian. And it almost begs the question, what is Canadian? Is this even a legitimate culture? When you have a culture that's founded on pluralism or multiculturalism, is there any real foundation to stand on? And I think generational Canadians are confronted with this question of what makes a Canadian? What are the Canadian values? So let's see what Christie Pits has in store for us. Make sure you drop a like on this video, comment something, even if it's a hate comment, you can comment that, and subscribe to Borough Sound. I'm trying to revamp this channel. The algorithm has been hating. Maybe these IRL type of experiences might help within the algorithm. So yeah, let's see what happens. Oh, Canada, our home and it's... Yo, I hope I hear the national anthem today. Like, they better be blasting that on the speakers. Shout out to Bergs. I'm on the road again. Them shows again.
You know I said I'm on the road again. Book me now, I'm doing shows again.
Yo, I just want it to be known that my goal today is I want to start a couple Canada chants. Like, I'm just gonna try to get people to chant Canada and maybe even the national anthem. But all I know is that I'm fired up for Canada. I'm just about to get a little Tim's, and hopefully, like a real Canadian experience, it's served to me by a Filipino. I know that some people love when they see a white Tim Hortons worker. Me personally, Filipinos are the best. I've said this on many occasions. They are the best Tim Hortons workers in terms of customer service, in terms of food prep, in terms of the coffee. You know, no diss to my, you know, South Asian brothers and sisters. You guys kind of messed up the game a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, all right? A lot of people stopped going to Tim's because of y'all. That's not your fault. I personally have worked at Tim Hortons before, so I know the struggle, and I know that there's nothing like a Filipino Tim Hortons worker. You got a couple titas? You know what? I don't even mind when the titas speak Tagalog to each other. You know what I'm saying? Because they always deliver the best product at Tim's, the sandwiches, the soups, everything, and the coffee is good. There's always a smile. They take pride in their work. Hopefully I hear a little Celine Dion today, a little J Beebs, even Drizzy, The Weeknd, or Abel, as many of you shorties call him. Tory Lanez. I'll be shocked if I hear Tory Lanez, though. I'm not gonna lie. If we hear Tory Lanez, then, yo, these guys are super Canada first. All right, so I'm just arriving at Christie Pits here. I think there's like an anti-Canada first kind of protest going, I believe.
Our next speaker, Rico, where are you there?
So it seems like the other side has way more going for them. They got some snacks, face painting. So I see a lot of signs, stop blaming migrants, pro-immigration. So I need to speak to the other side. Full immigration status for all. Interesting. And then there's a Palestine flag here. I didn't realize how divided people were on this issue.
Please give a warm welcome for the Korean traditional percussion, Sambo!
There's also like a Korean festival in this park. There's like 3 things going on in this park right now. These guys are not bothering anyone. I like it. I'm gonna talk to the Canada First people and see what their stances are on immigration. I wanna see if a lot of them are products of immigration or if they are, you know, multi-generational Canadian, what their stances are on these things before I guess confront the other side, because I'm surprised at how many people showed up on the other side. They're making it seem like you guys are anti-immigration.
We're not anti-immigration at all. We're pro-Canada, which means you come to this house like as if you would anybody else's home.
Yeah.
You respect the home.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Respect the flag, respect the culture.
The values.
The values.
Yeah.
Because I put it this way to people. Immigrants and refugees don't come to another country waving the flag of their homeland. Invaders do. Okay? This is Canada. People used to come here as immigrants and be proud to become Canadian.
Exactly.
Now they come here, reap the rewards of living in Canada and burn our flag and say death to Canada while they're living here. People can fly whatever flag they want, be proud of where you came from. But you're gonna make Canada your home? Your home comes first, just like it does in real life. Your home, you protect your home.
100%.
And that's what we're about. Yeah. We're not racist, we're not haters. My son is a product, his mother's side of the family were from India.
Yeah.
Okay? My daughter-in-law is Vietnamese, but I'm a racist for loving Canada. And I mean, people just don't come here to be Canadian anymore. And it's sad. And they bring their wars, their hate. If these people are such a benefit to Canada, why aren't they a benefit in their own country?
Let's delve into the key
That's the way I look at
parameters
it
and
too.
main applications.
You go to other countries, you're not doing that.
Supports all that crap. They don't endorse learning our history. Oh, our history's all bad. It's offensive. It's our history. Nobody's history is squeaky clean. History, without history, you don't have the present.
It is connected to
You don't have a future. But then again, he controls the past, controls.
The module features
we know that saying, George Orwell, and it's true. They want us divided in this country. It'll ultimately give government, police forces, whatever, a reason to put us under martial law because there's such civil unrest. So they're creating the division intentionally.
Do you think it's planned chaos, letting in all these illegal immigrants, everything?
It is, and they want a civil war here because, like I said, then they'll say, "Oh, we got to declare the Emergencies Act, the War Measures Act again. Oh, we got to lock down. We got digital ID to track everybody. What's going on?" This is where we're headed. So I don't feed into that agenda. I'm a proud Canadian, always have been, always will be. And it's Canada until my last breath.
So why is the other side labeling this side fascist? I'm hearing racist, bigoted, all these words.
Honestly believe, or people that are true Canadians honestly believe in assimilation, assimilate to our values, into our culture.
And what are the Canadian values for those who may not know?
I ask that so much, man, and that's only a question, and I answer it the same way every time. Unless you feel it in here, you won't know. It's different for everybody. You have to actually feel it, but nobody feels it in here anymore. Elbows up when your government tells you to. They want their country here. Why'd you leave? Oh, well, there's a war. That's another issue. That's another full topic. I don't support any of the wars. I don't support our funding of all these wars. Well, we have homelessness and issues here. Canada first. Just like your family. We're a family. Take care of the family first. And like I tell people, if I come to your house for a visit, I take my shoes off at the door. You come to this country, which is my home, take your freaking shoes off at the door. Check yourself. People throw the word fascist around too much nowadays. They don't even know what the fuck it means. Everybody's a fascist.
What does fascism mean to you?
Well, fascism is an extreme form of oppression of the people. We're not oppressing anybody. Come to Canada. I encourage people to come to Canada, but become Canadian and respect the rules of this home.
How do you feel when those same people will say that, oh, we're all immigrants because, this is native land, that argument?
That's easy. Unless anybody's got a receipt from the creator, nobody owns anything. We're set here to roam free. People lay claim on land. Who the hell are they? Even Indigenous. Did the creator sell it to you? The creator owns everything. Canada runs through my blood. I have maple syrup running through these veins. I piss maple syrup, for crying out loud. So keep your pancakes away.
Cheers, brother. Cheers. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's not that these guys are against immigration like the other side is making it seem. He just wants assimilation. He wants the Canadian value system to maintain itself. Can I see that sign real quick? Stop terrorist immigration. Okay, so what do you mean by terrorist immigration?
So we have mass immigration coming into our country for one too many years already. And basically what we're doing is that we're importing immigrants who are from terrorist countries, and Canada doesn't keep any tabs on them. Right now, there are 600 immigrants who have come to this country that have criminal records from their own country. Canada has absolutely no clue where they are running around this country. Are they part of gangs? Are they part of the drugs? Are they part of anything? Who knows? Nobody knows where they are. Are they part of these home invasions that are going throughout Toronto, GTA? Are they part of these rings that steal cars? What the fuck do we all go to work for? Kill ourselves just to try to keep a decent home, a decent living, and have our shit stolen, or get shot up in the streets. Our homes invaded. The gentleman who died 2-3 weeks ago in Vaughan. We don't know. This is unacceptable. No. I'm sorry. And we have people coming into this country who are killing. My parents are immigrants to this country, and they didn't come here without a pot to piss in to go and kill people. My grandparents came. They learned English. They paid to learn English. They did everything and broke their backs. They were Holocaust survivors. They came to this country without anything. They took whatever resources that were available to them and they made something of themselves. They started over. Now they get $80,000 stipends a year and half their family's running amok in this fucking city. They are terrorizing people. Unacceptable.
And why do you think the Canadian government is openly harboring these labeled terrorists, people who are labeled terrorists in their country, allowing them to come here and, expand on whatever they're doing?
Of course, I have no idea. I don't work in parliament. I don't work in government. But just like every other shitty deal that goes down for anything else, small business, big business, there's always a back end deal. I'm just hazarding a guess.
So do you think we should kind of increase the provisions of how people can get here? Because back in the day, you had to have some kind of skill to offer, and it was a process to become Canadian. My parents had to go through that. They had to do these citizenship tests, English lessons, all these things. Absolutely. Whereas now it's kind of just letting people in.
Absolutely. There has to be some sort of standard that people need to adhere to. Mm-hmm. There has to be something. There has to be some.
Not just let into this country. People are not just let into this country.
There
is still a very rigorous immigration process.
But do you find that there are certain groups that are kind of fast tracked into that, whereas other groups will have to go through longer processes?
Well, refugees.
Okay.
Anyways.
But you can claim to be a refugee without that much proof. Like, for example, if you're from Turkey and you want to come to Canada, they'll say, pretend you're gay, and they'll give you refugee status right away because it's a Muslim country. So a lot of people are lying about their refugee status because I'm Turkish and we know how the system works. We know a lot of people who want to come to Canada, but it's hard for them to come honestly. But if they lie about certain things, they are able to get in faster.
I'm not agreeing to be interviewed.
It's okay, you're in public, so have a good one. A lady tried to hijack my interview, and the moment I turned it on her, she just cut. I feel the heat, though. I could feel that there are people who are, I guess, passionate on both sides. And, with the increased political violence and the increased, censorship of freedom of speech, it just seems like a very hostile environment. Mostly from the left, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the people I've spoken to on the right, a lot of them aren't anti-immigration. They literally just want to ensure that the Canada that they know and they love remains. Whereas it seems like the people on the other side aren't really caring about that. They aren't respecting what makes this nation great or what did make this nation great. They'd rather change it and implode it from within. So let's see what else is happening. Sheesh. Hey. We got some quesadillas in the mix. Natives for immigrants. Interesting. Okay. Toronto was built by immigrants. That's true. Hello. I'm just curious to hear your stance on this. I find this very interesting. Natives for immigrants.
Somebody left the sign here and we just left it here.
Okay. Toronto was, but you guys are pro-immigration, of course.
Yeah.
I'm seeing the signs. Okay. But I noticed that a lot of people on the other side I've spoken to, they're not anti-immigration. So why is that being characterized, do you think?
I don't think
What are you?
Yeah,
I don't think. Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
You look like white trash.
White trash? Do you know where I'm from? Where do you think I'm from?
That's your business.
Well, you're calling me white trash, so I'm assuming you have assumptions about my ethnicity.
Sorry, this interview is over.
Okay, so we got a little racist here. Cool. And this guy said I look like white trash. It's always the fucking libtards. Holy shit. I do not feel safe on this side, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like there's just like a lot of hostility. Seeing a lot of status for all, which, I don't think people are against people coming to this country. I think it's just the presumption that they will abide by certain cultural expectations, which I think every nation pretty much assumes, I like this sign right here. I agree with that. I think we can all agree with that. Probably got some Timbits going. I just want to zoom into the Timbits. That is Canadian. I like it. It's so funny because I just overheard people saying that the Canada First people were Zionists, which is not even correlated at all. Well, that police in the middle is like 6'8". Full and permanent immigration status for all. Let me get that sign, brother. Yes, sir. That is 100% correct. So what happened? Was this like a Canada First thing that got like kind of hijacked? Like, what is it?
I don't know. I came for Canada. That's it. I don't care about. I'm on that side's team. I just want Canada back. That's all. I grew up with Canada my whole life. So I know what normal Canada looks like.
You and I both, bro.
Dirty. I just want people to be polite and hold the door for each other again. That's all.
Yeah, we never
do that anymore.
When I was growing up, we were all multicultural, but like everyone kind of had that foundation of just being Canadian, being friendly towards each other.
1000%. I had Pakistani friends, tons of Muslim friends in Ottawa when I grew up in Canada. You can look it up. Lots of people would immigrate there, and I didn't care. It was nature versus nurture. And I grew up with it, and now in the last 5 to 10 years, Canada's just taking a dive. That's all. I just want to tell people that. I want the future generations to know they can get a better country.
I feel you. And how do you feel about those on the opposition that are characterizing people like you and I, for example, as fascists, racist, Zionists?
Bring this shit down. We're going to bring it down with you guys. Fuck you guys. Let's go inside.
And the reason that just to have a conversation. I'm trying to have a conversation with this guy. We're all just trying to have conversations at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Start combos.
They're trying to make it seem like we're like anti-immigration because we want to preserve the healthy aspects of Canada. We're not anti-immigration, but like any other country, there's just like a due process, right?
Yeah, exactly. Just limit immigration. We had immigration when I was a child, and it was working perfectly fine. It's just spilled over, and we've had enough of it. There's a total difference and shift in mentality of what a Canadian is in the last 10 years. So we're just trying to bring that back. That's all. Just help people learn how to integrate into Canada instead of just bringing in their entire culture and kind of changing the mentality of Canada a bit incrementally.
Absolutely. It's almost like an entitlement. You should respect the country that you immigrate to. Any country, Japan, Brazil, anywhere you go, you got to adapt to the ways of that country. And I don't think that's racist to say, per se.
Yeah, no, that's why we're respect Toronto. Just come and bring us respect. That's all. That's all we ask for. If I went to Japan and I was going to go live there, I would learn Japanese and integrate. That's all. I feel you. People to know we're also a side of peace. Whenever I think of anything violent, I just think of what would Jesus do, or somebody of higher belief to bring my mind at peace, because I have no ill will towards that side.
So we have a ruling class of rich people that control the social media. And now people come here thinking they're for a Canada rally, and actually they're here for a mass deportation rally. It's almost like people are being lied to get them to fight, so then the cops can beat the shit out of everybody.
It sounds logic. But think about it. You're saying
everybody, there's, look, a South Korean walkathon event. Oh, look, several other events. And then one guy says, let's make it a mass deportation event. And then it becomes an anti-fascist rally. I'm all for the anti-fascist rally, but the reason that this collaboration, that this tension was created, was by corporations, was by the same people that don't want us to unite and feed and house and take care of each other. We're kept in a false reality, and we constantly try to escape it, but all we get is more enemies. And the reason we get more enemies is because we're not unifying. We're trying to seek out scapegoats, which was what every bad guy in history did, is find a scapegoat.
What is your proposal?
My proposal is we fucking stop protesting this shit and start making sure every luxury hotel is filled, every condo is filled, every piece of rotten fruit is prevented by feeding it to somebody, and that we do it by recreating and reconnecting with the indigenous people. Most people don't know the names of the trees. Most people don't know the types of clouds there are. Most people don't even know fungi. You have to educate and feed. You end it by feeding. It comes back to the old song, Yeshu sang it. You feed the hungry, you help the homeless by using what you were given. We have a gift.
You need money for that, right?
No, you don't. Money is pretty young. Money is centuries old. Our species is tens of thousands of years old.
So do you suggest living off the land pretty much? Everyone living off the land?
I said, yeah, we already do. We
like farming.
The mono-industrial agriculture is failing. Agricultural replenishment rates are failing.
Infrastructure
That's already failing. The infrastructure. Well, there's a system called CyberSyn, and there's already the NASDAQ currently is a market regulation system that skims the majority of the fat and gives it to an upper class that then manipulates people.
So do you suggest that in order for us to be more self-sufficient, we got to kind of go back to, I guess, older like agrarian ways as opposed to the more like corporate capitalist things that we're doing now?
I believe in a kind of a mix between, I believe in the three thieves of vinegar theory, which is that every great thinker in history drinks from the same deep bowl, but the flavor is different for every human being's tongue. So there's lessons of the ancients, and then there's lessons of where we are now. We have to take what works and what we've invented here, and we have to mix it with the old. And we have to make a comprehensive universal education system to create that.
I will agree with you that like I think this is ultimately a class issue that we're kind of like fighting amongst ourselves, finding a scapegoat, whether it's the immigrants or the racists.
If the people here knew each other's names and actually discussed their core values, there'd be no enmity. The enmity is artificial. They're trying to get us to fight one another, and there's no real fight when we actually get to the core of our issues and beliefs.
I appreciate you engaging in this dialogue. Like it was actually insightful. I'm not gonna lie.
I gotta try.
Yeah. Cheers. You know what? That was insightful. It was an alternative kind of mentality, but at least there was communication. There was no insulting. And albeit a little bit different, there was a solution-based narrative there, you know? That individual, I'm not going to misgender them just in case, because I did see nail polish. But that individual seemed to have a nuanced view on situations as opposed to the more black and white views that I've been seeing today. So let's keep going. Net zero, net you, no car, no flights, no meat, no cash, no. So do you think that's where we're headed right now?
Yeah.
How can we stop it?
Educate the people, and we have to stand up to the government, make Carney recognize what he's doing. He's trying to basically push Canada into poverty. The whole purpose of that is that when you have broken nation, he can bring in the New World Order or the Great Reset. So such as bring in the central bank digital currency, put everybody on UBI, put people in 15-minute cities. So I'm just here to make sure that people understand what is happening. It's not good what is happening in Canada. Even before Carney, Trudeau was doing the same thing, but Carney is accelerating it. Basically saying a lot of things, but he's not doing anything for the country, including not allowing our country to develop the natural resources in Alberta, not allowing that, C69, that Bill C69. So basically, he's trying to drive the country, just like he did in England, into poverty so they could change the whole system into the New World Order, a Great Reset.
How soon do you think we could see this net zero New World Order reality?
Well, the UN has this agenda. It's called the 2030 agenda.
Yes, yeah.
And so I think by 2030, you're going to get some major changes. And Carney already is trying to get rid of your gasoline using cars to bring in the EV cars. But then just recently, he's kind of recanted on that, probably because of low polling. He's not so popular now, so maybe he's doing that. But basically, they're trying to push everything probably by the end of this decade.
Well, God bless you, brother. I agree with you, and I appreciate you spreading the awareness, and hopefully people can wake up.
Thank you. I have another...
we have another side. Okay, let's see this. Net zero isn't about climate, it's about control, and there's a WEF logo there. Carbon limit exceeded. Yeah, we're going to see that. I think we're going to see that in my lifetime.
I hope not.
All right, God bless you, brother.
Okay,
cheers. That is a massive drum. A lot of people are saying status for all, no exclusions, regularize everyone, no human is illegal. So I definitely want to speak to someone who can kind of discuss this with me. But I'm hearing a chant. Hold up.
So get your fucking asses out of the park and sit down and write the fucking shit like the legislators do. Yeah. Instead of screaming in the goddamn fucking park like assholes.
Oh man, this is so hectic. Oh my goodness.
He wants to send things up.
Why are you here? In one sentence, why are you here?
We don't hate anybody. We love Canada. We want Canada to be good for Canadians.
What does that mean? Define Canadians. Define Canadians.
A Canadian is somebody who sacrifices themselves.
Boo! Already hate
You're not
this.
even
This is
fucking
so
Canadian.
stupid.
Are
This
you
is so
Indigenous?
stupid.
Are you Indigenous?
So stupid.
You're fucked. You're not even from here.
Your point is based on weird moral standings and not on actual facts. You're like, you have this idealized idea of what a Canadian is that is based on your own moral understanding of it. If it's based on sacrifice, it's not based on anything.
Stolen land then. This isn't your land. You're an immigrant, you shouldn't be here. You're an immigrant, you shouldn't be here then based on your own ideologies. This isn't your fucking land. This is stolen land.
I am an immigrant.
Yeah, so then under your ideology, you should be deported too, you stupid motherfucker. How fucking dumb are you?
This is like the political trenches right now. This is insane.
He said, we're recording you guys to upload so that America doesn't let me in.
Holy shit. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I needed a moment. I could just feel so much hate in the air. And, you know, I'm gonna say this, like, I don't feel like the Canada First protesters are coming from a place of hate. I feel like they're maybe coming from a place of frustration, but they ultimately want everyone to have the ultimate Canadian experience, which was fostered through years of, you know, proper immigration protocols. The other side, however, the left side, there's just so much anger and rhetoric. And, you know, I understand that there are things to be angry about, for sure. I'm not against that at all. But it almost seems like it's more performative and that they are far less willing to engage in just regular discourse. And it gets very rowdy quickly. Oh.
You're a loser! You're a hack!
Of what he's wearing or something you perceive in him.
Hang on one second.
Yeah, we're Nazi paraphernalia and act like a Nazi. Oh, fuck you, you fucking piece of shit. Go fuck yourself.
It's a matter of perspective.
Fuck you.
It's a matter of perspective, bud. Okay, so listen, we're live and we have a lot of people. They're asking what you stand for. Can you tell us what you stand for? Yeah.
Canada, man. I love my country. I grew up here. I was born in Israel. I didn't have to serve in the, I'm a Russian Jew. I didn't have to serve in the IDF because Canada gave me that shit, okay? And I didn't want to serve in the IDF.
I thought you ran off after you dumped water on me. And
Yeah,
you're
I
back
dumped
again.
I dumped water on her, yeah. I just throw things randomly at people. Canada gave me the opportunity to literally not have to like kill for my country. And so now I feel indebted. I feel like I have to do everything I can now to at least let people know that like, you're not wrong about everything, but your solutions are all trash. Like you have the diagnosis right, you know what the social issue is, and then you prescribe shit to people. You all live really entitled lives. You don't know who the poor people actually are.
How the fuck do you know
There's
that?
virtually none
How
of it
do you
because the
fucking
poor
know
people
that?
here are drug addicts who come from like middle class families that like choose to be that way.
fuck
I
you.
know because I used to be like that
You
20
look
years
fucking. You
ago.
look fucking
And I
mentally
used
ill.
to
Don't
hate
tell me about
everything.
people with fucking mental illness.
Well, I
You
used
look completely mentally ill. Like literally the spit and stuff on your mouth.
No, especially like the drugs that we're giving them now, it's definitely like it makes them way more addicted. No, like the fentanyl now, they literally like add shit into it to just like
do you
you
think
get
is
sick
doing
in
that?
4 hours and like you
drug
have to
dealers. Yeah,
keep
drug
doing it.
dealers. Drug
No,
dealers.
but those are
That
cartels. Those were the international like drugs. Like they
Why
care
are
a
you
lot.
wearing
Listen.
these drug hats?
People who sell drugs,
You don't
right?
deserve to
They're
be
not all the
listened
same, right? So the ones who don't care about Canadians at all, they will feed you poison much faster than somebody with maybe a drug dealer with a conscience. There is such a thing. There is.
Thank you for telling me my fucking business. It's all I do.
No, keep doing what you're doing.
Very weirdly shaped.
Trevor is fucking against fucked up.
Look at all those insults against. Disrespectful.
Take care. See? That's why I'm gonna keep doing that.
Fucking makes sense. None of it makes sense.
But yours doesn't either.
But where's the middle
But that's
ground then?
We have to talk. We have to find it.
But
doing that
You want to
in a
pretend the
place that-
system's not being gamed at all, right? I'm telling you, it's being gamed more than it ever has
But I'm saying that not all people game.
been. No, that you're right. But like, if it's like a 2%,
But you're saying
if 2% of the
no. You're
people
saying
don't
not.
game it, you can't let 98% get away with a crime.
But that's your opinion that it's 98%.
No, but I agree. I agree.
2%.
I agree, but nobody wants to find the number. You even tell the police not to record shit. You tell them to switch what the crime is to a different type of crime.
You think that the ideology of people who are progressive or socialist have any control over the police?
A lot of police officers today are
think that they're the most
ideologically
aligned?
woke. That's why they're afraid of criminals, really. I see them. They're afraid of real criminals. I know real criminals. They're not afraid of your cops. They literally go and rob your banks and pry the ATM machine out with a fucking forklift. You think they're fucking afraid of your police? Oh.
Relax.
Yo, relax.
Yo, stop, chill, stop. Everyone, back up. Stop. Do not touch me. Do not fucking touch me. Do not fucking touch me.
There's water, bro. Relax, bro. There's water. Who's
Oh my goodness.
Do it somewhere else. Get him arrested. Not in fucking Christie Pits. Why don't you get the fuck
Buddy,
out
don't
of here,
touch him, bro.
asshole?
What are you doing? Don't
Fuck
touch him, bro.
off.
Don't touch him. Why are you
Fuck
being
you.
violent, bro?
I'm not being violent. I'm just touching him.
Don't touch him, bro.
Get out of here.
You're telling him wise right now. You're getting up in his face, bro. Respect the fucking thing, bro. Brother.
Don't say it.
Relax, bro. I got you in 4K. And yo, there's no police. This guy not doing nothing. Brother, this guy's getting mobbed. You're not doing nothing. Well, they're saying he hit a girl. What the fuck happened?
All I saw was a bunch of guys jumping him and calling him a Nazi. No one initially was saying woman beater. They were saying Nazi, bro. And then they were just beating the fuck out of him.
Yeah, and they mobbed him, bro. I seen that.
They did.
We shouldn't hit a woman, that's why.
You deserve what you get, you fucking pig! Fuck you! You guys
I got scratched up.
Like a woman? It's the only people you can fight, eh? Insult a woman, you fucking piece of shit.
You're saying he randomly assaulted a woman?
Yes, he did.
You saw that?
He thought she threw water at him. I did.
Now, we got the boys and the horses.
You guys abuse sacred indigenous animals! Shame on you! TPS! KKK! All up there on the set! TPS! KKK! All up there on the set!
It's crazy. The left loves a good little chant.
That was crazy.
That was crazy,
you got
bro.
on a video?
I just got when he got thrown to the ground and everyone just started chasing him.
Yeah, I saw him falling down on the ground, and I have it on the video.
And then he was just getting mobbed after,
There were
40
there was
people
one guy
chasing
trying
him.
to hold him and on the fucking, I don't know.
Now I seen that. They're saying he hit a girl or something. I don't know.
I don't know, there was a guy tried to protect him or tried to, I don't know, got him or something.
Nah, one dude was like, "Is this guy a Nazi or what?" And then they just start getting mad violent.
You find those people that are actually protesting against immigration? I couldn't
No,
see them
because
at all.
all the people I spoke to who were in that Canada First thing are not anti-immigration. They literally just want people to assimilate. That's it. They want people to adhere to Canadian values. They're not racist. A lot of them are products of immigration.
But the guy who organized it, Joe, I think his name is, but he's the one that a couple months ago he was for 51st state for United States.
You talking about Puck Daddy?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. I didn't see him here. Oh, okay. Oh shit, I'm hearing it. Yo, I hope I hear the national anthem today. We stand on guard for thee. Yo, people are doing it at different times, but we finally heard the old Canada chant. Oh man, this is like a showdown right now. Holy shit. Oh my God. So I guess this is the vibe. This is who's on each side, I guess.
Watch it, everybody watch it!
my God. You know what I find? This side is way friendlier and more calm. There's less anger. I'm trying to talk to these guys. Everyone starts insulting me.
Charlie Kirk wanted to talk to me. He got murdered.
So are we past the point of dialogue with this side?
For sure. Way past.
So what's the solution now?
We're just gonna see how things play out in the long term, but you can see what they want. The Century Project wants 100 million Canadians by 2100, and they don't want to do it through natural births. They want immigration. They want to replace the domestic, natural Canadian founding stock. And it's pretty clear. Look what they're doing.
And that's why I would say, have children. I've done my part.
Why you guys all gonna hide your faces, man? Why you guys all gonna hide your faces?
Give yourself a shout out. Where can they find you?
Yo, Borough Sound TV. I'm also on We Love Hip Hop. Shout out Friday, Ricky Dread, everyone at We Love Hip Hop. Borough Sound TV. DJ Zar. I feel like a lot of people might not book me after this, but maybe more people will book me. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir.
Right side.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, bro. Keep it up. I love your content, brother. I am kind of sad that this country has come to this point. I think I've witnessed it happen, as someone who went to university, I went to UFT, I witnessed the indoctrination, I witnessed the sort of movement that has enabled people to think like this, and not only enabled them, but justified it intellectually almost. I want to ask someone how they define a fascist. I feel like the other side isn't even racist like that, bro. I mean, there's probably racists on both sides, realistically. I mean, a lot of the times it's the liberals that be extra racist. They just disguise it. So I want to ask someone to define fascism for me. Okay, fascism in simple words. Fascist states are usually totalitarian, one-party states which prey on masses of angry, atomized, and desperate individuals to make them unite behind a strong man who promises them a utopia and revenge on those who may have harmed them. So that is the Google definition of fascism. So I want to ask these individuals who keep kind of chanting about fascism to define it for me. Excuse me, how would you define fascism to those who may not know what it is?
I'm sorry, I can't take questions.
Okay, no worries. Cheers.
The sign says all.
Smash the fast. But what does fascism mean to you? Like, everyone's saying no more fascists, but can someone define it for me?
I actually do not have the definition on hand. However, I do believe that the mass immigration policies and the deportations that they're advocating for, similar to what's happening in the US right now, if not identical, is very much fascist. That is very much fascist policy, and therefore if they're representing that and they want that equivalent up here, then they are themselves fascist.
So you don't think anyone should be deported, even if they're here illegally?
The people who that immigrated here, they did so because of capitalism. They did so because their living conditions back home weren't so great. So they came to Canada looking for a better life. Our government, it's actually our provincial government that's in charge of how much immigration that we want coming into the country. The provinces talk to the federal government and they make policy together in order to meet the needs of the provinces. However, those provinces are all conservative premiers and they're at the behest of capital. And so they're bringing in all of this unskilled labor, taking advantage of people who want a better life in order to give them a worse life again. They want to subject them and make them second-class citizens. And I think that really the problem is the billionaire class, because you can't escape them. They're an international group. They hold the power and they're basically, they're everywhere, man. So
I like this stance. I haven't heard this stance before, but what you're saying, these guys are almost like blaming the individuals, whereas you're kind of looking at the government and the billionaires who are insisting that, okay, you guys come here in mass numbers and they're creating the division. It's not the individuals that we should look at. It's more the government policies.
Exactly. Yeah. It's overreaching stuff. If everybody on a class gets the test wrong, then it's the teacher's issue. It's systemic. And I think that we just see so much of this with immigrants, and I think that as a result, they've just become this political hockey puck, basically, that we just try and pass back and forth. But one group is legitimately doing it to try and demonize them. And it's really what's happening here is these people, they're attacking the symptom, whereas the billionaires and the capitalist class, those are the actual disease.
I think a lot of the people on that side would agree that it's the government policies, it's not the individuals who are coming here, but some of them will insist that, okay, those individuals aren't assimilating culturally, and that's the issue that they have.
Okay. And I think that those individuals would assimilate better if they weren't forced to be second-class citizens by being Uber drivers or something else. So
yeah, it's like they're forced to like stick within their own community because the conditions are so poor for them that they're not able to kind of do what the other generations did in Canada in a way.
Exactly. Yeah, they're experiencing the same hardships as the white people over there that are demonizing them. It's just that those white people are seeing it as a team sport of skin color versus an actual, systemic issue that needs a lot of hard work, and it's a very complicated issue. It's going to take time, but we need to be careful with who we vote for. We did really watch for the policies of our premier specifically because they hold so much power, and we need to get the conservatives out because they're going to continue to exploit everybody and basically suck us all dry. Like I know that you're probably experiencing like how expensive things are now. Hell yeah, like everybody does, and that's probably what they're really upset about. But they don't see why. They are okay with capitalism. They're not okay with immigrants, and that's the fatal flaw.
Because a lot of them are not anti-immigration. Like a lot of them are products of immigrants. It's just the new wave of mass migration is something that they don't like. You know what I'm saying? But they're not anti-immigrants. They're not racist. Like I spoke to a lot of them on the other side. Like most of them aren't holding those type of like negative views. Some of them for sure probably do though.
And to them, I just want to say, hey, I want you to look at your government. I want you to look at the policies that are happening around the immigrants as opposed to the immigrants themselves. And if they're pro-immigration, great. I agree that this new second class and having them come in en masse and filling colleges and not being able to learn anything, that is genuinely detrimental to everybody in the country. But that is, again, systemic. That is not the immigrants' fault. And just mass deporting people, it's going to get a lot of people hurt. It's going to a lot of people are going to get swept up who aren't actually part of the problem at all. So we have an actual example of what's happening in the States with these policies, and it's a nightmare. And we can't have it happen here.
And I really appreciate you engaging in the dialogue. Like it was very insightful. I've been having trouble engaging with dialogue with a lot of people. Some people there's a lot of anger and hostility, but you explained to me, you actually honestly educated me about the stance around, the migration and the governmental aspect of it. I just want to say thank you for that, bro.
I know a lot of people, they don't want to get their faces shot because the police will go after them.
100%.
Yeah, unfortunately the police typically send us out with the racists when push comes to shove, so yeah. Hey, thank you so much, man.
I appreciate you, bro. Cheers. That was actually a very fruitful dialogue. I can honestly say that individual over there was, helpful in explaining, a nuanced aspect of their side. And, he was willing to engage, he was willing to answer questions and explain. And he even said, like, I kind of see his point about, a lot of people maybe look at the individual communities as the issue, where we might have to look at the cause of the mass migration or the allowance of it and who profits off that. And it is these major corporations like a Tim Hortons or corporations who are incentivized to kind of outsource their labor to these individuals instead of prioritizing local labor because the government subsidizes it. So honestly, that was a fruitful conversation. I can honestly go home like happy with that conversation, knowing a little bit more about the other side as opposed to just being insulted, It's interesting because I find that those on the other side are more at risk of losing their employment than, the left. These are the same people that were probably anti-truckers and very pro, government imposed restrictions during the pandemic. It's a very, very interesting political landscape that we have here in Canada. And at the end of the day, perhaps a nation built on, blood and exploitation was never meant to prosper. Maybe this is almost karmic retribution for the origins of Canada. I do believe that, there has to be some sort of justice in a divine sense. So perhaps, we're seeing a certain group of individuals lose their power, maybe. I don't know. You good? Bro, that fucking pissed me off, bro. He got in your face. Like, I don't care if he disagrees with you, whatever, but why are you touching a guy?
Yeah, he probably wanted something.
He wanted you to fight him.
It's always brother, what's your name? Eric.
What's good? Zar.
Zar.
Yes, sir.
This is my friend Luke.
So what's going on here? I saw you had a hat and
This is a Toronto
not
hat.
fucking
Camera?
GoPro.
Yes.
And you seem like you were prepared for something like this, so that's why I'm coming to you right now.
Yeah, low key, like I feel like I went to university, so I've been debating with the left.
I went to Ryerson, Toronto Metrosexual University now.
Yeah, so you already know the type of
I went
discourse.
for sociology, so I'm making a joke. The reason why I'm alive in Canada is because my grandparents in Italy were
escaped fascism.
Escaped Mussolini.
Real fascism.
Real fascism, right? So Mussolini took their business, and that's why they had nothing and had to move, right? So that's why I'm here. I want to understand, and I think blotting people's voices out is not okay. Violence is not okay either.
Here's what I've noticed, brother, and I'm sure you've noticed this in university, is that the left is far more into censorship and like uncivilized discourse, whereas the right is always down to, exchange information, debate. You know what I'm saying? Like Charlie Kirk, he's always down to debate. These guys would rather just you not be here. You know what I'm saying?
Look at the amount of people that have been been fraught with danger that are on the right, right? We have been fucking attacked. Abraham Lincoln actually was a right winger, and he was the one to actually emancipate the fucking slaves. You can look this up. And what happened? He was going to give each emancipated slave a fucking acre of land and a donkey. And the day before he was signing that bill to actually make that reality, he was assassinated, shot in the fucking head. Yeah. Right? So this violence is not how progression in society occurs.
Exactly.
The violence is bad.
Yeah.
The silencing of people's thought and minds and feelings is bad. Yeah. But you should not believe everything your fucking head tells you, because emotions will lead you astray every time. You got to be rational.
Like, if we need to start building communities, what better way to do it than that?
Wait, why don't you like him? All right. I mean, you seem to be yelling, and then the moment I put the camera on you, you just be quiet.
Yeah, you think homelessness has turned into industry?
For sure, man. Everybody knows to game the system. Everybody knows how to game the system. Everybody's gaming it because you have to. You can't survive here if you don't fucking game the system. Who can survive here? Only the government employees who are making like $100,000 a year or more. They ran everybody else out. Amazon, like literally, we have no stores now because of Amazon.
Yo, brother, you have that sick jacket. Yeah, can I just record it real quick? That is fucking sick. You made that, or you just copped it? That is sick, bro. That is the most Canadian shit I've seen in my life. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That was a very intense experience. I've never seen Canada so divided in my life. And it doesn't seem like there's any room for improvement. It doesn't seem like there's any room for discussion. It seems like that kind of window of opportunity to discuss people's differences is kind of done. And I don't know where it's gonna head to. I don't know if there's even a solution. It just seems like Canada is just destroyed. It's at least the Canada I knew, the Canada most of us grew up on, it's done. It is way too divided now. There's way too much political rhetoric. There's way too much infiltration of particular ideologies. It was never like this. I found that once there was kind of academia-based intellectualization of woke ideology, that since then people want to destroy this country. There are people who are in this country who live here every day, who may even collect government money, who want to destroy Canada as we know it. And what do they want to destroy it to? I don't even think they know. I think they want to have this sort of communist utopia where, the rich pay for our lives and we just get everything for free, and there's all these sort of benefits for everyone and you don't have to work hard. And it's unfortunate because, most of us who are products of immigration, whether it's first generation, second generation, third or fourth, everyone came here to have a better life and to work hard and to achieve that and to grow and build upon the wealth of their family and have a safe, decent life. It is literally becoming something that I am not familiar with. And I think the only people, I'm gonna put a little C.S. Lewis quote here because I don't want to butcher it when I say it, because I think it speaks to those who are on the side of Canada first, where, this is their home. This is all they know. They actually have a love for their country. And I also understand the other side too, where when you look at the historical injustices, is this something that we should love and celebrate? You know, at the end of the day, we all benefit from it. I'm not seeing everyone trying to deport themselves, but it seems like they want everyone to, you know, go home. So should we all just return to our home countries? I don't think that's what's gonna happen. I don't think the solution would be for everyone to just return to their home countries. I mean, perhaps there is an imagined world where, you know, everyone goes back to their home countries and lives life there. But of course, you know, when you go to certain countries, there might be certain problems, which are the reasons why people escape their country, you know? And maybe this might just go to show that, like, overall, maybe multiculturalism is failing in general. And this isn't the first time this has happened. I mean, the Roman Empire fell because of multiculturalism. You look at the story of the Tower of Babel, the moment that other nations began to work towards something together, God separated them and made them speak different languages. So is that almost a biblical prophecy that we're not meant to live among different people? I don't know. It gets very deep and spiritual. That was a lot. But thank you for watching this video. Make sure you hit that like button, drop a comment below, hit that subscribe button as well. If you like this content and you want more content where it's like IRL, let me know. Thank you for tuning in. Shout out to everyone in this video. You know, hopefully it goes well. Until next time. Hey. I don't know why, but for some reason that guy just gave me hope that, you know, things are gonna be all right.